20th, 5:29 p.m., almost 5:30. After work, I've actually been home for a little bit. I've eaten a tiny bit, like not an actual meal, but I've just been chilling a bit. But I suppose I owe you guys an update because I haven't really been filming as much this month because of obvious reasons, but we're not gonna get into that. I actually just wanted to give y'all like an update of what's been going on, what I've been up to, things I've got or purchased, books, things I'm planning on doing later this month, actually this weekend. But yeah, so I got new hair, trying something different. What's crazy is that I always tend to go short during the winter and long during the summer when it should be the opposite, but it works. It works for me. But anyway, this month has been low-key stressful. However, I did take some time to actually enjoy myself. Like, I did stop streaming for 2 weeks or so. But during that time that I stopped streaming, one of my most anticipated games came out, which was Dragon Age Veilguard, which it's been 10 years since, like, I don't know, Inquisition came out? Has it been 10 years? Okay, 10 years since Inquisition came out, which is the game previous to it, and also it's just like a really good closure of what happened for this specific story. That started with Inquisition and finished with Veilguard. I think it was really well done. Had a lot of fun playing it. The quality of the gameplay is it could use some tweaking, especially because I was playing on a PS5. I don't know how it is in other systems, but I was playing on a PS5. It was a little bit wonky, but I got through it. I'm completely obsessed with it. I feel myself going back to like my Tumblr days. Yes, I'm from the internet. My Tumblr days of getting so entrenched in the Dragon Age fandom and also with Overwatch. It was just, I feel myself falling into this hole again. But I played that. I beat it in like a week or so, but also during that time I was a little bit self-destructive, meaning that even though I was working, I was literally playing this game like at all times. There would be times I'd wake up at 6 a.m. and finish playing the game at like 1 a.m. the next day. So that's not really eating. Sure, I was drinking water and fluids and stuff like that, but not really eating. But I quickly fixed that. It took me 2 days to do that, which good. But it did take me a little bit longer to get back to eating normally. It's just that I didn't have an appetite. I had food, but I didn't have an appetite to make it, and I also realized that at that time I just needed easy things, easy foods, something that can be done in less than 10 minutes. That is the type of energy I was on for a week. But I got out of that spiral a bit, kind of. But I really enjoyed myself with that game. This year I've been trying to play more games that I enjoy outside of streaming because I also don't want to make it feel like it's a job for me, because I do enjoy streaming. I do enjoy talking with my community and shenanigans and all that stuff. I really enjoy that, but for the longest time I have been playing games only on stream and not for my own enjoyment. I'm not saying that I don't enjoy them, but it's just like there's always an audience that I'm talking to or, you know, hee-heeing with, right? I grew up playing video games by myself. I'm not saying that like I always did, but like I have an older brother and I have an older sister and my dad. We were really into video games back in the day, but as they got older, I was kind of abandoned and had to fend for myself. But anyway, I thoroughly enjoyed the game, and I've actually was bullied lovingly by my friends to write something for the fandom. Well, actually I haven't shared it yet to the fandom, but I've written some stuff. But anyway, did that. I actually did a lot of shopping and a lot of reading. When I say shopping, I don't mean like actual clothes. However, I may need to start looking into that in the next coming months or so, 2 months or so. Or, you know, go thrifting. Speaking of shopping, I recently went to a thrift store and half price books, and I got a lot of books and anime. Anime is something that I haven't really sat down and watched in a very, very long time. Like, I know of all the more popular animes right now. When I say more popular, I mean like mainstream. So like Jujutsu Kaisen, My Hero Academia, even though that's done. Jujutsu Kaisen manga is done. Dan Dan Dan. I think Dan 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 is like the biggest one right now, the most popular. But yes, I know about them. However, I'm not one of those people that watch what everyone's watching. In fact, I don't think I've really watched a newer anime in a very, very long time. I'm more so geared towards the old school anime, like the original Hellsing, Blue Seed, Devil Hunter Yoko, things like that. Fushigi Yugi. If you know, you know. But anyway, I picked up some anime randomly, but the thing is that it was a full series, so I could not pass it up. I couldn't pass it up. I couldn't pass it up. So all right. So the books that I got, starting off strong, I got almost the entire collection of a series of Monsters and Muses by Sav R. Miller. There are 6 books in this collection. I got it because the covers of these books are so pretty. They're just like floral books. Like nothing like overly dramatic, but like the colors and the flowers. I'm actually really into floral designs, certain floral designs, but like the colors, the floral designs of it, I love it. Also, I'm missing one book. I'm missing the 4th one because Barnes and Nobles didn't have it. They said they could order it for me, but at the time I didn't want to pay the price, so I have to get that one. But I picked up this entire series. I particularly enjoy it. It does have some questionable tropes in it, some themes in it. Not for the weak-hearted folks. I'm not saying I'll weak-hearted, but I'm just warning you. There's also a warning inside of each one of these books that lets you know what you get into. So if you like the dark romance, Greek mythology inspired type of books, I recommend checking out this series. What I've noticed is that book 1 and book 2, not sure about 3 yet because I haven't read it because I got distracted by other books. Book 1 and book 2, they are connected. They have reoccurring characters in there. Like I said, I don't know about the rest of the books, but I got this series. And the 4th book is on its way. I ordered it from Amazon. Amazon is a very dangerous place. But anyway, I picked up this series. The next book I picked up was The Help. I wanted to check out this book because I've seen many snippets of the movie, and I got this from Half Price Books. I think it was like $3 or $4 or something like that. But I'm also trying to get out of, not completely get out of, but trying to change the types of books that I read, expand my horizons. Let's go with that because I read a lot of self-help books, or like not necessarily educational, but educational books. And occasionally I do dip into like the dark romance stuff, and then also I do read mystery books. Mystery books are like my absolute favorite. That is what I started with. Mystery books, favorite. I'm a huge fan of Sherlock Holmes. And speaking about Sherlock Holmes, I picked up 3. Here's the third one. 3 Sherlock Holmes books. So I picked up the Return of Sherlock Holmes here. This has kind of like a cloth cover. Also, like the pages of it feels like it hasn't been used at all. And also, even though I do have this giant tome for Sherlock Holmes, I don't know if these stories are in there, but this is The Return of Sherlock Holmes by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. And then I picked up a really nicely like bound book from the Reader's Digest. If you know what the Reader's Digest is, you are entitled to your compensation for your bones. But I picked this up because the pages, again, they're like new. It's like they had like no one read this at all. And then also there's this little pamphlet that they have in here from the Reader's Digest. So I'm like, I have to get this. Like I didn't need to get it, but I had to get it because even though I got this giant like Bible of a Sherlock Holmes book, I needed to get this one too. So I got that one. And then I got this book by Sherry Thomas. It is A Study in the Scarlet Women. It's the first in the Lady Sherlock Holmes series. So I'm just like, Lady Sherlock Holmes? I gotta get this. I have to see what this is about because like anything related to Sherlock Holmes, inspired by Sherlock Holmes, I'm all over it. There's actually this really cool show called Miss Sherlock. It was a Japanese TV show, and it was a different take on Sherlock Holmes, but instead of there being, you know, men, it was women, and it was like the coolest thing ever. And unfortunately and sadly, the main actress of that series passed before they could do Miss Sherlock 2 because they left it open to a point where it could be another season of it, and I was all for it. Like, I was really sad. I also like followed her on Instagram, and that's how I found out that she passed. But I'm a really big fan of Sherlock Holmes. The next book I got was George Orwell's 1984. I don't know if you can really see this. I picked up a lot of books that are supposedly, I'm not entirely sure if it's going to be or not. I hope not. But supposedly banned with this new administration taking over. So I picked up a lot of books that were going to be banned. So George Orwell's 1984. I actually don't know anything about this, but I've heard so much about it. Like, I know of it, but I don't know anything about it. So I'm curious to see what this is about, and hopefully I don't have the doom and gloom after reading this because it's intense. Next book I picked up was The Great Gatsby. I actually, I really love The Great Gatsby. It was one of those books that you had to read in school, in American schools or schools in the US. And a lot of people, like, we were just like, ugh, we don't want to read this, blah, blah, blah. I actually thoroughly enjoyed this book. And the one that I actually wanted was the blue cover. If you've seen it, it's like the most iconic cover and classic book that you may have seen like across the internet and whatnot. Unfortunately, I was only able to find a good copy with this cover. I'm not saying it's bad or anything, but I wanted that blue iconic cover. But this will do just fine. I got this also from Half Price Books. I think it was like $7 or something like that. The next book I got, To Kill a Mockingbird. Again, this is another book that we read in school. We also watched the movie too, The Great Gatsby, the original, not the new one with Leo. Oh, Leo. I never watched that movie. But we watched the original for The Great Gatsby, and we also watched the original for To Kill a Mockingbird. I don't know what it is about this book. I really love this book as well. So this was another book along with The Great Gatsby in 1984. Those are a couple of books that are supposedly supposed to be banned when things change, if they do. I already have the second one that Harper Lee wrote, To Go Tell a Watchman. Surprisingly, I didn't read that one yet. I've had it for like 2 years now, a year and a half. Haven't read it, but To Kill a Mockingbird, I can literally sit down with this and go through it and watch the movie as well. One other book that I got, it's actually a manga. It's josei manga. It's called Shiori's Diary. This was a spur of the moment thing. Also, it was wrapped when I got it. And if you know when manga is wrapped in stores, you know something's going down in that story. Something's going down in this story. Something is going down in this story. While I don't really care for the art style of it, I'm a fan of the older, mature josei manga for the older women or older population, female population. I picked that up. It was completely spur of the moment type thing, and I was pleasantly surprised. That's all I gotta say. But also, in terms of more books, I do got a lot more books. I've been getting a lot of books from the library because, I mean, why not? It's free. Why not? Okay. So a lot of books from the library, a lot of big books, and there's actually a few books that I have not picked up from the library that I need to do sooner. They're gonna put it back. But the first one, the one I've been really into, is this one called The Sacred Pampering Principles by, Debrina Jackson Gandy. It's an African American woman's guide to self-care and inner renewal. Remember what I told you already? A lot of like self-help and educational books. This is one of them. But I really love this book because it's like an older aunt, maybe like grandma, telling me like the secrets of, how to, pamper yourself. Because I will admit, over the years, I've lost how to do that, and it's super important. And like I said, it's like a grandma or older auntie telling me like all the secrets behind it. And I actually love this book so much that I'm planning to buy it for myself. Again, this is a library book. I can't keep this. But The Sacred Pampering Principles is one that I've been really enjoying. Other books that I picked up was... not the one. What is this? Basic Economics. When you say economics, you're probably just like, what the hell? Callie, what are you doing? I actually took macro and microeconomics back in uni, and I actually enjoyed those classes. I wasn't an A+ student, and sure, my TA was a little bit motivating because he was very attractive to look at, but I actually enjoyed the class. And I want to learn more about economics, the economy, like how things are affected by, supply and demand, things like that. So I picked this up. However, I will guarantee you that I will not get through all this. I may just end up finding my old macro and micro workbooks or books that are at my mom's place and go that route, because I think I won't have enough time to go through all this. I'm gonna be completely real. I won't. So there's that book. The other one I picked up is All Women Are White, All the Blacks Are Men, But Some of Us Are Brave. It's a Black woman study. I actually saw this on TikTok, and I'm just like, ooh, what is that? I want to know more about that. Let me look into this. So I picked this up. I haven't started this just yet. But again, like I said, I'm trying to broaden my horizons and change up what I'm reading and more educational stuff. So I'm really curious to see and learn more about this. The only reason why I say it like this is because I don't know anything about this book and what I'm getting myself into, but I'm curious nonetheless. Next one is Black Fortunes. It's the story of the first 6 African Americans who escaped slavery and became millionaires, by Shamari Wills. Like I said, I'm looking to expand my horizon and also learn about things that we did not learn, or I should say I did not learn in school, because I went to a suburban school and things were very interesting back then. So again, I haven't started this book because I've been really focused on the sacred pampering principles. But again, I'm gonna buy that book so free up my time. Next is another book that I started. It's Primates of Park Avenue. I saw this on TikTok. It was for a very specific group of women. Let me just say that. I picked it up because they're just like, oh, you get to see how women in the upper New York live and how they take care of their bodies, which is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to be a little bit more better at that and trying to be so self-destructive by taking care of my body. But I'm like, sure, let me check this out. This is different than what I would normally read. I started reading it and I'm like, I can't relate to this. Like, I can't relate to it, which that's really rare. Like, I don't usually put myself in that situation of where I'm trying to relate to some of the stuff that I'm reading. Then again, I don't read a lot of stuff where I need to relate to, right? I couldn't. This lady went on and on about like her pregnancy, buying Birkin bags, and right. Anyway, couldn't get into this. Not my type of thing. You live and learn, right? Live and learn. Not my type of thing. Next book is How to Overcome Trauma and Find Yourself Again. I actually decided that I wasn't going to read this. Please don't ask me why, because I don't even know. But this will be going back. But again, I'm trying to read all sorts of self-help books, and I'm also just trying to broaden my horizons. But like I said, this will be going back. Maybe I'll check this out at a later time, but this time it's not gonna work out for me. Also, for anime that I mentioned, I think my camera's about to die, I picked up this series called Kitty Grade, the entire series, which is something that I saw in this anime magazine called New Type. If you know, you know. You are also entitled to senior compensation for your bones. I picked that up. Really interesting to see how that series is. I also picked up this series called Gungrave. I know, I mean, you go from Kitty Grade to Gungrave. It is what it is. I've actually seen the series before and I fell in love with it, and actually got me really into the Gungrave like series in general. I have the game. I already know what I'm getting into. I have the soundtracks. I love this series and I can't wait to actually sit down and watch this again. That's all I got. That's a lot of stuff, right? But I think this is a good spot to end it. I need to charge my camera. So I will check back in with y'all later when my camera's charged.